Pioneer viewers, how are you doing? I hope you're healthy and well, and as the Pioneer team, we continue to share with you the developments regarding Russia-Ukraine war. In a moment, I will share with you a very important development from outside of the front line. One of the most critical stages of the war between Russia and Ukraine is taking place in the Black Sea. The Russian Federation, which wants to turn the Black Sea into the Russian Sea, cared a lot about this Black Sea fleet. However, the Ukrainian armed forces have identified and inflicted significant damages to the Russian Black Sea fleet with their attacks. According to reports, Russian battleships in the Black Sea fleet are still within the range of the Ukrainian armed forces. We can say that the Russian battleships in the region are acting in a great panic, and the Russian war leadership is trying to protect parts of the Black Sea fleet from attacks by the Ukrainian armed forces by moving them randomly. So, however, this is also costing them dearly. Recently, there has been an incredible developments regarding 2 Russian amphibious ships that maneuvered incorrectly. And what are the latest developments in this incident? I'm going to share it with you. Before starting our report, I need to make a small reminder. As the Pioneer team, we continue to bring you the developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily map reports and reports on the agenda. You can also support me and my hardworking team, me and him, by using the super thanks button below the videos. So thank you for your support, and let's start if you are ready. The Pioneer reports. By the way, our team is more than 2 people. But the war between Russia and Ukraine is in full swing, and the Ukrainian army continues to resist the ground attacks of the Russian army on the front line with great resistance. The resistance of the Ukrainian armed forces on the ground has worn out the Russian army considerably, and the struggle of the Ukrainian army has worn out the Russian army as well, and the Russian ground troops are inadequate. Therefore, certain methods are being used to overcome this inadequacy of the Russian forces. One of them is the support provided by the Russian ground troops via the Black Sea. I've mentioned the importance of the Russian Black Sea fleet many times before, and the Ukrainian armed forces are also aware of this importance. The Black Sea fleet is one of the most important units that the Russian military has to protect, and it is frequently attacked by the Ukrainian military. The Russian leadership has tried several times to take measures against the Black Sea fleet. However, these attempts were never successful because the Ukrainian army managed to overcome every measure taken by Russia. So, of course, this created panic and tension in the Russian military, and the Russian army does not know what to do and how to protect itself from these attacks. The confusion of the Russian army makes the Ukrainian army's job even easier. In recent days, there has been an incredible developments in the Black Sea, and the Russian ships are constantly on the move in the Black Sea. This method is used to make it difficult for the Ukrainian army to target these ships, and the constantly moving ships caused an incredible incident to take place. According to reports, the Russian Black Sea Fleet units maneuvering in the Black Sea recently made a big mistake. Due to the crew mistakes, 2 amphibious land ships belonging to the Russian army collided with each other, and as a result of this collision, one of them heavily damaged amphibious ships sank, while others sank on its side. According to reports, Russian army towed the damaged ship to the Sevastopol area. The losses of the Russian armed forces in the Black Sea have increased considerably, losing important parts of the Black Sea fleet, and one after the another, the Russian military's dominance in the Black Sea is about to collapse, and the Ukrainian armed forces have a navy. This navy is not very big and not very powerful. However, unmanned naval vessels of this navy cause it to have a more qualified navy than the Russian army. So it's very important for the Russian army to lose its power in the Black Sea, because Russia's Black Sea fleet in Russia and the Black Sea has a great importance for the Crimean Peninsula. The only way for Russia to ensure its permanence on the Crimean Peninsula is for Black Sea fleet to continue its activity there. So the Ukrainian armed forces are working diligently to prevent the Black Sea Fleet's activities here. The attacks of the Ukrainian armed forces on the Black Sea Fleet have so far been quite successful. Therefore, there is a state of panic in the Russian Navy, and this panic leads to even similar to the one-off we have mentioned before. Many of the important ships in the Black Sea Fleet have been destroyed, and there is still no comment on this issue in the statements of the Russian administration. This shows that the developments related to the Russian Black Sea Fleet have reached a very unsettling level. So the offensives of the Ukrainian armed forces against the Crimean Peninsula continues. And I've shared with you in our reports, the Ukrainian army has achieved significant successes by striking the positions of the Russian armed forces in Sevastopol, Simferopol and Fedosia on the Crimean Peninsula. New developments have emerged regarding these attacks, and according to reports, during the offensives of the Ukrainian armed forces in the Crimean Peninsula, the Storm Shadow missiles carried out a large-scale attacks on Russia's two large landing ships, Yamal and Azov, a communications center in Sevastopol, Crimea and other infrastructure facilities. So as a result of these attacks, local sources are publicizing that the losses of the Russian army are quite high. However, when we look at the Russian official sources, we see that there is still silence on the subject. Russian official sources are implementing a similar strategy that we've mentioned in our previous reports as well. In other words, they use the methods of keeping silence to hide the facts. However, the existence of the attacks, which were heard throughout the Crimean Peninsula and had a huge impact, cannot be hidden. This is because local residents have been posting on social media, allowing the world to see a large number of images, and the Ukrainian armed forces carried out a very important operation and dealt a significant blow to the Russian army. The Crimean Peninsula is the most prioritized and important target of the Ukrainian armed forces. Therefore, the attack against it continue unabated. There is a talk about the possibility of the further attacks by the Ukrainian armed forces on the Crimean Peninsula in the coming days. And this is very strong possibility because the Russian military, on the other hand, is preparing to take new measures. And according to some sources, the Russian military does not want the Black Sea Fleet to suffer more losses. For this reason, the main base of the Black Sea Fleet was moved from Crimea to Novorossiysk in Russia's Krasnodar region, further away from the Ukrainian coastline. Now, there are rumors that Moscow is planning to establish another naval base in the Abkhazia and a breakaway region internationally recognized as a part of Georgia. And the scale of Russia's losses is quite serious. So now it's your turn. Let me know, what do you think? How do you assess the Ukrainian armed forces' aggression against the Crimean Peninsula? And do you think the losses of the Russian Black Sea Fleet will increase? So how will increased losses affect the front line? And how do you think the measures taken by the Russian Navy will affect the front line? So let me know in the comments, because you know that I read and I care a lot about all of your comments.